Welcome to the fourth video in the Doorways Introduction to Occupancy course. Today we'll be going over recurring transactions and some common misconceptions behind them. To get started, we're going to navigate to our household that we wish to add these recurring transactions to. We're going to go ahead and select our trusty Sean Conso household. We can do that by navigating once again to that magnifying glass on the top right-hand side of the page. Once on our households page, you'll notice in the overview that we have all of our account information, and they're currently moved into the address here as we did in the last video. To get to the recurring transactions tab, we're going to select the tracking tab right there in the top bar. And you'll notice we have a few options: loans, recurring transactions, required deposits, and repayment agreements. We'll go ahead and select recurring transactions, as that's what we're looking to work with today, and we'll see that there are no current recurring transactions for this household. To set up a new recurring transaction, we can go down and click on the Add New. And why don't we go ahead and add a trash charge to this household? This brings up a very important point. Recurring transactions are not the same as rent charges. Recurring transactions can sometimes be things like trash, electric, internet charges, and they're almost entirely established by your housing authority itself. Keep in mind that they are not the same as rent charges, and this should never be used in place of a rent charge or an updated rent charge. We'll see that we have a few pieces of information we need to fill out before we can add this recurring transaction to our account. We'll see here that we need to select which account this will be billed to. We'll go ahead and select Other, as I know that there is a charge type of trash in the Other category for this program. Once we've established that, we need to select an amount. And I'll go ahead and say $50 a month, as this will be a monthly charge. And then it will ask us for a start date and an end date. Let's start this on the day that they moved into the unit. And the end date we will leave open. This way, we can ensure that this program will run for the entirety of the household being in this unit. That being said, make sure you check with your housing authority's policies and procedures to define the start and end dates and how they work at your housing authority. Now that we've filled in all the required information, we can select Save New Transaction. And our household will now have a recurring transaction on its tracking tab. To end a recurring transaction, it's just as simple as starting one. All you need to do is click into the recurring transaction itself by selecting it, clicking the Edit button, and you can select that end date that we saw earlier. We'll select the same so I can show you how this functions. And now we'll see that that recurring transaction has moved down to the Expired tab here in the Recurring Transactions area. With that being said, please complete all of the corresponding walk-me's that go along with this course material, and that will help you better prepare for the end of course quiz. We'll see you in the next video.